Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Another day, another mystery. This time, it's a generation ship. Now one has been located in the lunar system and, well, it's a rather surprising find. It was discovered by a Commander Lexic along with F-1. Commander Lexic soon posted to Reddit his discovery and gave instructions on how to locate it, as well as a bit of a story on how he actually came across it. The message you can see on the screen here was discovered by the Hutton truckers in the LHS 1047 system. As you can see, the message is rather split up. It took a little bit of deciphering to work out exactly what it was about, and Commander Lexic and F-1 managed to do that. And what they figured out was that they needed to head towards the lunar system and then towards planet 10 within that system. Now, the rest of the video is going to contain spoilers at various stages, so I will let you know just before each type of spoiler, and then you can decide at which point, if any, you'd like to stop watching it. To get to the generation ship then, you need to head towards planet 10. If you'd like to figure out the rest for yourself, then you can stop watching now, and if not, you can carry on watching and we'll have a look exactly how to get there. Now, a quick note on the message itself, it was actually found at a listening outpost in the LHS 1047 system. I've heard from people in the past that they've seen messages like that and ignored them because they don't make a whole lot of sense, but it does show that they are well worth paying attention to because you never know exactly where they're going to lead. So here we are then at planet 10 within the lunar system, and the next thing you've got to do is plot a course towards the Hooray system. As we can see, we're just going to do that right now. So once you've done this, simply aim your ship towards the destination, but do not jump there. You have to actually remain within the lunar system. So once your ship is aimed towards Hooray, what you need to do is target the planet 10 again and simply fly 22,000 light seconds away from it towards the targeting reticule here for the next system. So that's actually quite some distance. It'll take a little while to fly there, but nothing too significant. But gotta say, really well done to Commander Lexic and F-1 for figuring this all out. It's an interesting puzzle and has got a very interesting result. So once you're at the 22,000 light second mark, simply look at your nav panel here and you'll see there's a new target that you can actually jump off at. So the next part of the video is obviously going to contain a spoiler, this time for the generation ship itself. So if you do want to head on over there for yourself, you can do that and stop the video now. It is obviously very close by, it's within the inhabited video, so you should easily be able to reach that. Here then is the generation ship, the first one ever to be featured within an Elite game. So what is a generation ship? Well, they have been around for a very, very long time. They were spoken about in the lore for Elite way back in 1984, the first game, and many players actually went off in search of them. These ships launched hundreds and hundreds of years ago. The first one, I believe, was launched in the 22nd century. They all went out into deep space way before the advent of faster-than-light technology. This meant that they had to travel at traditional speeds. And this, of course, also meant that it would take generations for them to reach their destination. Their aim, their objective, to settle and colonize at some distant planet. Hundreds of these generation ships were launched, and many never made it to their destination. They'd become a part of the missing, lost among the stars and never to be found. Each of them featuring their own story, their own history. It's quite possible that some generation ships are still fully active, but as you can see, this one here appears to be derelict. And it's also very clear that this is far older technology than the recent megaships. It's even much older than the megaship discovered out in the Formidine Rift. So it turns out there is a new way to interact with these ships, and it's to do with the data link scanner. We've all been wondering for quite a while now what these data link scanners are actually for. So it turns out that their function is all in their name. They actually are data scanners, and we can use them to scan these logs on the generation ship. They're also the same utility tool that they're going to need to use to scan the data logs on the megaship found in the Formidine Rift. So when you've finished scanning the data log, you'll get a new message in the comms panel up the top there. But I won't look at that just yet. We'll leave that for the end of the video, just in case you want to go and check the data logs out for yourself. Now, the generation ship itself is very, very eerie. As I say, it appears to be a derelict ship. There's no power here, aside from the very small amount of power or lighting that's on the beacons attached to the various points on the ship. It's also nice to see that the generation ship itself does look far older in terms of technology than the tech used for the recent megaships. So, with the generation ship discovered, with the megaship discovered in the Formidine Rift, I'm left wondering what sort of other content out there is left to be found. It seems very unlikely that this will be the only generation ship, so I guess only time will tell. Another nice touch is that all the data logs here are actually voice acted. So we'll get to those right now, and if you don't want to hear them on the video, then here would be a good point to stop at. I'm also going to stop talking at this point so you can enjoy the data logs if you want to listen to them. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.
Decisions log 2379/2. Nothing out of the ordinary to report. Minor injuries, aches and pains from the more vulnerable crew members, and the usual bout of influenza you'd expect with so many people living in such close confines. It seems the current strain of influenza is becoming resistant to the vaccines we've developed on board. Only thing of note was a minor injury to one of the survey team. Gottlieb sustained a minor laceration. He was taking a mineral sample on a nearby asteroid. The suit got braids, but he managed to apply an emergency seal before anything serious happened. I only hope the sample he took was worth the scar it's gonna leave. Decisions log 2387/8. We have an emergency. The strain of influenza infecting the ship has become completely resistant to any vaccines or treatment we can find. 13% of the ship's population has now succumbed to the infection, and so far 8 have died. I've initiated emergency measures on quarantining the infected. The epidemiologist, Dr. Monroe, is working around the clock to find a solution. I'm sure she'll come up with a cure before long. Decisions log 2463/5. Dr. Monroe made a discovery that has filled me with dread. This contagion doesn't derive from the influenza epidemic. It's altogether more alien than that. The contaminant has no human origin. It comes from Gottlieb, the scientist who was injured a few days ago. Whatever mineral he was taking a sample of must have got into his blood. It's mutated into some kind of virulent pathogen. Monroe is unable to isolate the microorganism that's causing it. It spreads fast. Quarantine hasn't worked and people are starting to panic. We're doing our best to come up with a counteragent, but I'm not sure we have the resources. Decisions log 2499/9. We are lost. Monroe died 2 days ago, and any chance we had of finding a cure for this epidemic died with her. Half the ship's population is already dead, and 98% of those remaining are infected. Teams are working around the clock to vent the bodies into space, but they're piling up so quickly. The riots haven't helped. People are panicking, angry, don't know what to do. When you see your family die, I guess you just get desperate. I don't know what to do. Suppose I should do my job, but it's no use. At least I've avoided an infection. For now. Decisions log 2501/7. I knew I wasn't going to avoid contracting this thing forever. I'm one of the last. This place is so quiet now. Used the team with life, and now there's just silence along the empty corridors. I should probably go for one last walk while I still can.